Hello everybody, what's going on? And welcome back to Career Mode. Today is the Champions League final. If you missed the previous episode, I recommend you check it out before you jump into this one. Of course, it was the FA Cup final against United. So today we get our shot at the second trophy for the season with our Bournemouth team. And we'll round up the entire season as well and take a look at how we got on in season number 2 before we head off into season 3, where we could remain as Bournemouth manager, or depending on what happens, there might be some offers coming our way, as there is quite a few of the big teams around the world who haven't really done as expected. So they'll be looking for some new management. But the game against Barcelona, of course, we know their team. We know the quality they've got. Our team, I've already gone ahead and selected it. I know who we are going to be starting for the match. And you'll check that out once we do, in fact, get into the Champions League final. Before we do, though, we actually do have a press conference to do as well. So we're going to do that on camera. And then we'll head off and start the game against Barca. Of course, Real Madrid were the team we beat in the semi-final of the Champions League to get here. So now it's about, can we go one step further? So the first question in regards to this press conference, you're about to face Barcelona, who is a strong opponent. Can you tell us how you manage the fatigue going into the game? We have played a heck of a lot of games this year, but I feel like the team's already ready anyway. So we'll just say we worked hard to get here, and that we will give it everything we've got to come away as Champions League winners. What's the sentiment regarding the previous match? Well, we won it. It was that 2-1 win. So I don't feel like we have to play better, because for large parts we were dominant. We're not affected, or we have proven tactics. We'll go with the third option. Neither one of those were really that great, so we just go with whatever was the best of the three. And your team is basking in great form recently. Do you think you can continue this at the lightning pace? I'm sure of it. Let's go with the confidence route. So that's it. Nothing left to do. It's Champions League final time. 8 minutes and a half for this one against Barca. The Johan Cruyff Arena is the stage for the final. I'll run you through quickly the sliders on the CPU side. Exactly the same that we ran in the last game against United. For us, of course, everything stays at 50. Now, it's time to head off into the final. I'll talk about our team selection once we are in it, but there's a quick glance at it, and we'll check out the Barcelona selection in game. Although I'm looking at that player there and seeing that he's got game-generated boots, which makes me think that's a Youth Academy player. But he is wearing number 3, so maybe he's a quality Youth Academy player. Anyways, let's not worry about it. Let's check out their team. Let's do this. Both teams out and ready. The Champions League song has been played, and there is the 11 of Bournemouth tonight. The team who you wouldn't class as favourites heading into the game. Felipe Anderson, sensational against United in the FA Cup final, gets the start on the right-hand side in a team that is stacked pretty much of our best 11, I would say. You've got Fraser on the other side, and it's those two, Anderson and Fraser, who will have to have a good game for us to be able to come out on top here. Barcelona, I've seen Messi, I've seen Griezmann, Milinkovic-Savic, ter Stegen in goal. You know all about this Barca side. Harry Winks, I believe, is also in it. But here is their 11. So, ter Stegen in goal. The man that I spoke about in terms of the game-generated boots is their number 3. I'm not even going to try and say his name. He's playing centre-back alongside Umtiti. Alba and Moussa Varg, is that at right-back? Frenkie de Jong, Milinkovic-Savic, Harry Winks. And then, of course, up front, Messi, Griezmann. And I did not see who's playing on the left. But I guess I'll find out as we get this game underway. 8 minutes and a half, a very long fixture from the Johan Cruyff Arena. Jordi Alba's cross towards De Jong, who forces Benitez into the first save of the night. Barca looking to come out of the block swinging. Alba's delivery met by Frenkie de Jong, and his volley is turned over the crossbar. It's a corner ball for us to defend. It's Coutinho playing on the left-hand side for Barca, the player that I didn't quite get to see when the two teams popped up. Here is Harry Winks. Now finds Alba again. And Titi on the ball. This is a strong start by the favourites. Harry Winks in towards the area for Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. And again, Benitez is there. Lovely play by Fraser. Finds the ball back towards Chilwell. Now Ryan Fraser, his first real touch of the night. Fraser out wide here for Felipe Anderson. Anderson back to Ryan Fraser. Takes it well. Fraser shots! And he's not too far away from giving Bournemouth the lead. It's been all Barca in the opening few minutes, but Ryan Fraser got on the ball for the first time, and he made it happen, finding Anderson. Anderson back to Fraser, and a few more inches to the left, and that's on target. Chilwell down the line to Ryan Fraser. Fraser stops it. Turns on the inside of Varg. Still got it here. Ryan Fraser. And still Ryan Fraser. It's a masterclass from the winger. The Scottish left winger has scored the opening goal of the Champions League final. Sensational by Fraser. 18 minutes in. The man we highlighted before kick-off. The two wingers of Bournemouth. He just cuts inside of Moussa Varg and says, see you later. And look at this for a finish in a Champions League final. People will say we maybe look out of place being here tonight. Ryan Fraser has thrown away any suggestion of that. What a finish. And it's now Bournemouth who have the lead. It's our first ever time playing at this venue, at this stage of the Champions League. And we have struck first. But there's 70 minutes of football to go. Callum Wilson out wide towards Bellerin. Hector Bellerin on the right-hand side gets to send another cross in towards the back post. And Varg puts it behind. I hope I'm saying his name right. Is it Varg, not Wag? But I apologise if I'm not saying his name right. As Ryan Fraser now has the opportunity to send the cross into the box for us to find a second goal tonight. Fraser's delivery. Gomez gets up well. It's in the crossbar. Ake's there. And he's turned it in from very close range. Bournemouth in dreamland after 20 minutes. Who could have expected this? What a header from Joe Gomez on towards the crossbar. It fell kindly to the captain. And all he had to do was tap it home. And Barca are stunned inside the Johan Cruyff Arena. They don't know what to think. Fraser's delivery. Gomez's header. I mean, they're all over the place defensively. Everybody just looking at each other saying, what are you doing? Ake turns it home. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we're 2-0 up in the Champions League final. 2 minutes injury time left of the first half as Maddison's searching for the run of Fraser. And Barca forced to put it out of play. That left-hand side of Bournemouth is working wonders here tonight. Maddison, good control from Fraser's throw-in. Now finds Phillips. Phillips off to Cook. Lewis Cook off towards Maddison, who hits it first time. And it's sensational by Maddison. I called Fraser's sensational. That's incredible. Oh my goodness, the chips are falling into place for Bournemouth tonight. And it senses that it's their night to win the Champions League for the first time ever. The current champions are crumbling in Holland. It's unbelievable by Maddison. And I tell you what, that's well worthy of winning any cup final, let alone the biggest in club football. Take a bow, James Maddison. Wilson battling away for possession. There was no changes at half-time for us. It's the same 11. And we're looking for the same job. Barcelona in need of a second-half miracle to find their way back into this match. And I tell you right now, Messi has not even touched the ball for pretty much 40 minutes of this game. I think that's the first time I've really seen him have a touch. They need to get him on the ball, and so far they're unable to do that. Lewis Cook towards Ryan Fraser, who's had his say on the match already tonight. And as advantage is played by the referee, Cook can now find Maddison. Maddison off to Wilson. A fourth goal here would be unbelievable. Wilson! Have a look at that by Callum Wilson. ter Stegen saves it, but the skill by Wilson was quality. Chilwell out to Fraser. Fraser to Phillips. Good control by Calvin Phillips. Now finds Maddison. Maddison to Wilson. Game, set and match. Bournemouth 4, Barcelona 0. This has been the best performance that we have put in of the entire series. I don't even know what to think at the moment. I've played Barcelona quite a few times, actually, over my time on FIFA, playing in Champions League finals, and I can't recall a time where they've ever really played that well. Again, it's ultimate difficulty. The slider settings the way they are, maybe I need to play around with them even more, because some games you have that are incredibly tough, and then you have this. Like, Barca tonight have just been awful, but we have been full value. I'm going to lower it down even further from 40 to, let's do 30 on the pass side, and the first touch control down at 35. But Barca have been awful tonight. On the other hand, we have thoroughly deserved this. We have been head and shoulders the better team here in the Johan Cruyff Arena. And now it's a formality, it feels like, that the Champions League is heading to Bournemouth. You're hearing that correctly. Bournemouth are going to be Champions League winners. Here is Alba, now finds Coutinho on the edge of our penalty area. Joe Gomez blocks the cross and can find Anderson. Anderson up towards Wilson. He's going to lose possession in trying to do that. Maybe thinking about some changes now then for us, as Lionel Messi on the first time. He's really had it in an advanced area. And he looked for the pass. He maybe should have took the shot on himself, I feel like. Anderson to Wilson. Dragged back from Callum Wilson is good. He's got the run of Felipe Anderson through the centre. Anderson to make it 5-0 Bournemouth. And he's done that as well. I feel like I should just stop scoring at this point because it's getting embarrassing for Barca. And I apologise to you guys out there that was thinking that this would be quite a contest. And I can already see a lot of you thinking this is so unrealistic. And I agree to an extent. But what could we do differently? Because Barca are just not turning up tonight. It's 5-0 Bournemouth. And I'm kind of wincing a little bit of how embarrassing this is getting for Barcelona. Here is Messi for Barcelona on the right-hand side, trying to work a chance, but Chilwell blocks the cross and now can run away. Almada's just come on as well. We made a triple change. King, Almada and Brooks all coming on the field of play. Thiago Almada trying to work a chance, and he nearly did. But for the Barcelona defender there to step in. So yeah, triple change, some fresh legs on. I mean, that's poor as David Brooks wins it. Now can find King, who's shot straight at Stegen. But the rebound is there. What is going on with Barcelona? Oh dear, we are heading for one of the most one-sided Champions League finals in history. I don't know what to say now. I really don't know what to say. Oh dearie me. 8 minutes to play here as Thiago Almada has a free kick on the edge of Barcelona's penalty area. Almada trying to find the top corner. Ter Stegen keeps it out. It remains 6-0. And Barca look like they're not even going to get a goal tonight. Calvin Phillips has been brilliant for us since signing from Leeds United last season. And he started a Champions League final tonight that he's going to win convincingly. King to Fraser. Ryan Fraser, step over. Gets past his man too easily. Fraser in the area, trying to pull it back, which he did quite well. Just nobody was there to tap it home as we count down the clock. Winks' pass cut out by Gomez, but he wings it straight back to Messi. Harry Winks again. Now for Lionel Messi. Back to Winks. Griezmann's made a run. Winks choosing instead to try and run it down the right-hand side. And we are now into injury time. As Messi, is there a chance for Barca to get a consolation? No, there is not. That is going to do it, my friends. And I don't really know what to say. I thought this would be a very close game where one goal was maybe going to take it, but how wrong was I? I went nuts for the first two going in because I never in a million years expected us to be 2-0 in a Champions League final against Barcelona. And yet that is exactly what we found ourselves. I want a clean sheet now that we're so close. Milinkovic-Savic inside the area, pulling it back. Bellerin's there, Gomez to clear it. And that is it, my friends. Bournemouth, 6-0 Champions League winners. Enjoy the moment. There is the picture we were waiting for. Ryan Fraser stood alongside the Champions League trophy as it comes to Bournemouth for the first time ever. So we'll do a quick roundup of the season, check out the squad report and all that good stuff, and then we'll have a little chat about what comes next, because I'm sure there'll be quite a few of you in the comment section saying about how unrealistic that final is, which I completely agree with. All I can do is play the game. As I assure you, it was on ultimate difficulty like every game has been. We had our struggles in the Premier League this season. We didn't win the league. I even went halfway through to lower some of the other CPU errors down to even try and make it a bit harder. So this is what we finished the game on. 25 for the pass error, 60 for the goalkeeper ability, and 30 down for the first touch controller. I think I've got that the right way around, though. So it's not like I made it worse or anything. But anyway, let's take a quick look then at the overall league and whatnot. So as you can see here, we knew that City had won the league, and I'll scroll through it very quickly because I did show you it last time out. Leeds Norwich derby down in the Championship. Who's come up? Well, we'll take a look at that in a moment, actually, because the FA Cup, confirmation that it is in our hands. We've won 2 trophies this season, even though we missed out on the Prem. Carabao Cup was won by Manchester City, so they did the double 2. The Europa League, that's the one I'm interested in seeing, as it was won. Oh, Valencia on penalties. Spurs were in it, but Valencia came out on top in the end. Unfortunate for them. For Spurs, that is. For the other leagues, we'll have a quick look at that. So, Championship, who is coming up to the Prem? Burnley, Watford return with an astronomical amount of points apiece. I mean, 124 and 123. Palace finished on 111 points and didn't gain promotion automatically. I don't know who's won the playoffs, but that's mental. For the French League, PSG will be the ones. Yeah, no denying that. They won 36 of their 38 games. For the Bundesliga, Bayern probably... Oh, Dortmund! You love to see it. Finally, Bayern didn't win. Dortmund finishing on 95 points. Oh, fair play. Serie A. And that's probably going to be Juventus. There you go. 107 points they won the league with. For the Eredivisie, this is an interesting one. Ajax, unbeaten, 100 points. PSV in second. As we keep scrolling down to the Scottish Prem. And that is Celtic, unbeaten as well. Rangers only just beating Hearts by a single point. La Liga, who is the top of that? Barca. Oh my goodness. 1 point. They got to the Champions League final, won the league by a point. Incredible. And that is pretty much it for the other leagues around the world. So, yeah, some really interesting league winners and runners-up points tally. So, a quick look at our squad. It's a very good team. I don't think we've got any pre-contract signings that we've made or anything like that. So, I'm not even going to think about any new signings for next season. But as I scroll down, if you want to check out any more players in any more detail, then just pause it on whichever player you guys want to check out, and you can have a longer look at how they've done this season. So, Benitez, the top appearance maker with 57. Fraser, 24 goals and 10 assists is incredible. Maddison in there with 16 and 12. And I'll just keep scrolling and you guys can see who you want to see in more detail. If we do continue, Cavani's going to be leaving the club next season. There's no doubt about that. Carlos Linz as well. 5-star, man. He looks to be the real deal ahead of moving forward. For the valuation, who is our most valuable player? Fraser, 40 million. Maddison in second. Anderson in third. Attributes-wise, our top growth this season in terms of attributes, I believe, will be the goalkeeper, O'Donnell. Yes, up by 21 to 76. Sorteyer in second. Jesus, who's been out on loan. 5-star weak foot. He's actually grown by 7 overalls. That's pretty decent. I can't lie. Almada up by 5 to 83. Very good growth from him. But yeah, that's it for the squad report. Is there anything else I need to look at quickly? I feel like there is. Yeah, actually, player stats for the Prem. Where did Fraser finish in total? So Jesus got 28 and 38 for Everton. Our top scorer, Fraser, down in 11th. Our top assist maker, Maddison, in 6th. We didn't actually score that many goals this season. I think we were one of the lowest scorers in the top 6, but we did defend very well, as you can see, with Benitez keeping the most clean sheets for the season as well. So what I will do very quickly, guys, is I will sim to the end of the season. And in fact, wait a minute, will I sim to the end of the season? Because there is 1 or 2 things I still need to look at. I'll tell you what, I'll be back in a second. End of season review, and the board are very happy with how we've done, understandably so. I'll move into next season. We'll take a quick look at the budget, because I have a feeling it's going to be pretty huge. And then we'll talk about what we do. So, essentially, I'll do this while it's loading, actually. If you've got any suggestions for slider settings that I could possibly use that won't take the fun away from the game to the point where it's going to be ridiculously tough for me to even score a goal, then that'd be much appreciated. The one thing that puts me off about using sliders, as well as having it on the hardest difficulty, is that whenever I've done that, it takes away the fun aspect of the game for me. I don't feel like I'm playing the game much more, and it sometimes feels like there's nothing I can do to prevent a goal going in, which is why in past FIFAs, it's kind of ruined some series for me. I didn't particularly enjoy, I think it was the FIFA, was it 18 or 19 Road to Glory career mode, when I introduced sliders to that. I completely understand why they are used, because for realism and for the challenge aspect, it makes a lot of sense. But it does take a lot of like the enjoyment away for me. So if you've got any slider suggestions that won't be over the top difficult, that would make it a bit more tough for us, then do leave me a comment down below, because I do want to keep the series as interesting as possible and try and have some sort of realism, although it is a game, whilst keeping you guys entertained as well. You know, I don't want to have a situation where we're playing games and scoring literally no goals per game because the slider settings that we put on are just way too hard. So do leave me a suggestion. In terms of what we do moving forward, I will leave a little poll at the top right hand side of this video to kind of gauge your opinion. Do you want to see the series continue, yes or no? I'm not saying definitely that I'll end it based on that, but purely because, you know, we've won the Champions League now. A lot of people will think, well, what is there left to do? We still have a Premier League to fight for and that kind of thing. And if I do end up ending off this series, that'll give me the time to focus on the Road to Glory. And then I might start like a proper realistic career mode with sliders in from the start, if you will, down the line. So I know that's one thing we could possibly do. But we'll take a quick look then at the budget before we go today. And here it is for you, £142 million. That's enough for us to bring in players to fight for a Premier League. The question is, do we want to continue the series? Let me know your thoughts and feelings down below. If you enjoyed today's video, a like would be greatly appreciated. As always, a massive thank you for all of your support on the channel as well. If you are new around here, like what you see, hit the subscribe button down below. I plan on giving you a double upload on this Sunday, so there should be a My Player career mode out later on tonight as well. Until then, have a great day, have a great evening, and I'll catch you all again soon. Adios!